You're on the highway, you're driving, and all along the road, there are exits, every single one leading to the same place, Loserville, Loser Town. The moment you get tired, there's an exit. The moment you don't feel like working, another exit. The moment it gets difficult, another one. You can get off anytime you want. You can take the easy road, the road of excuses, of comfort, of mediocrity. But if you stay on the highway, if you refuse every single exit, there is only one destination: winning. When I hear people say, "It's hard," or "I don't have time," or "I just don't feel motivated," all I hear is a man making a choice to exit, a choice to quit, a choice to embrace the identity of a loser. And don't misunderstand me. Every single winner has felt exactly what you feel. They've been tired. They've been unmotivated. They've doubted themselves. They've looked at those exits and thought about pulling off. But here's what makes them different. They didn't. They stayed on the highway. They kept driving. They refused to quit. And that's the difference between winners and losers. Not talent, not luck, not intelligence. It's endurance. It's the ability to suffer without breaking, to feel like giving up but refusing to take the exit, to keep going when everything inside you screams to stop. The road to success isn't lined with shortcuts. It's a straight, brutal highway with no guarantees except one. If you never quit, you will get there. You need to understand something. Every single time you stop, every time you quit, every time you make an excuse, you reinforce weakness in yourself. You teach yourself that failure is an option. You start believing that quitting is acceptable. And that's how losers are made. Not by one huge dramatic failure, but by 1,000 tiny weak moments of surrender. And here's the hard truth. Life doesn't give a damn about your excuses. No one cares that you're tired. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to beg you to stay in the game. That's on you. Either you want it bad enough, or you don't. Either you can suffer through it, or you can't. But know this. If you take that exit, if you quit, if you pull off the road, you don't get to cry about it later. Look at the greats. Look at the men who built empires, who forged legacies, who became the standard. Do you think they had it easy? Do you think they never faced hardship? No. They suffered. They bled. They had sleepless nights. They had moments where they doubted themselves. But what did they do? They stayed on the damn highway. This world is filled with men who almost made it. Men who were right there on the edge of success but took an exit because it got uncomfortable. You think about those guys? No. No one does. Because history doesn't remember the men who gave up. It only remembers the ones who kept going. You decide right now which one you're going to be. You might not feel like doing the work today. You might feel exhausted, broken, beaten down. Good. That means you're in the process of becoming something stronger. The pain you feel, that's weakness leaving your body. That's the old you dying so the new you can emerge. Embrace it. Stay on the highway. The weak will always look for an excuse. They will always justify quitting. They will always find a way to pull off and settle for mediocrity. Not you. You are the man who refuses to break. You are the man who keeps his foot on the gas, no matter how rough the road gets. You are the man who will look back years from now and realize that the only reason you won is because you did what others refused to do. You endured. And let me tell you something else. Winning is addictive. Once you start seeing progress, once you start seeing what happens when you refuse to quit, you will crave it. You will no longer entertain weakness. You will despise excuses. You will look at men who quit and feel disgusted, because you'll know they could have kept going. They had the ability. They just didn't have the will. Every morning you wake up, you make a choice. Stay on the highway or take the exit. That choice will determine the course of your life. That choice will decide whether you become a champion or just another could have been. Winners don't take exits. Winners don't stop when they're tired. Winners don't quit just because it's hard. They push forward, relentlessly, mercilessly, until they reach their goal. And that's exactly what you're going to do. The road is unforgiving. There is no cruise control. There are no pit stops. There is no moment where it suddenly gets easier. If anything, it gets harder the closer you get to the finish line. And that's where most people fail. They don't realize that the moments when it hurts the most, when it feels the worst, when they want to quit more than anything, that's the moment where the real test begins. If you quit, if you pull over, if you give up when it's hardest, you don't get to say you were almost there. Almost means nothing. Almost is the lie losers tell themselves to make peace with failure. You either make it or you don't. There is no shortcut, no way to bypass the suffering. If you want to reach the top, you must be willing to bleed for it. You must be willing to suffer longer than everyone else. You must be willing to wake up every morning and fight for your future like your life depends on it, because it does. And you need to ask yourself something. What's the alternative? If you quit now, where does that leave you? Right back where you started. Back to mediocrity. Back to nothing. And you'll have to live with that choice, knowing that you could have made it, that you could have been more, but you chose the easy way out. So the next time you feel like stopping, the next time you feel like quitting, remind yourself of this. You are on the highway to winning. The only way you lose is if you take the exit. Keep driving, keep pushing, because the only way out is through.